And so to me, that helps me understand players better. Because I keep talking about part of the game is knowing how to play your ship, the other part is knowing how to play your opponent. And if I understand the overall, thought process that my opponents bring to the table, then I can understand better how to play against them and stuff like that. So this is
I
Triarch.
agree with that completely. I agree with that completely.
And if any of you guys can do me a favor and ping FIFA G, let him know that he's a division mate up here. We're gonna watch this replay, and I'm gonna have a banana in honor of Sith Kitten, and I'm gonna do the stare
Wow.
while I
Oh
eat.
my god.
Don't forget the angry eye contact.
As I eat my damn banana.
Look at just the look on the stream is banana intensifies. That's
Right,
what I'm
right.
getting out of that.
I love it.
I worry about you, bud.
Thank you. This is all because Senpai hung out in stream, and I had a banana while he's hanging out, and he's like, "No, Zach, you have to look at the camera with anger when you have a banana."
That sounds exactly like something he would say, and I can just picture him saying it with the look he gets on his face sometimes. Yeah, that's good. He's
Take
funny.
care, Cthulhu. I mean, I need to have snacks, so I must go for healthy.
Might as well. I mean, that's what I've been doing over the last months.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for my allergies, I'd actually be in pretty good shape.
Kitten, thank you for shouting out Cthulhu. He is also a streamer. Although I don't know if he's streamed much lately, but...
I didn't know that until today, but he just said he's gonna go stream, so...
Oh! Well, yeah.
No. Deep throating that thing. Jeez, Zach.
Ow!
Just for you.
I am not really sure what to do with that either from either one of you.
Well, I'm looking at it, he's just like, oh!
I'm hungry. Sorry.
I'm seeing the same things you're seeing, but I'm not saying the same things you're saying.
Yeah, but I'll say it. I don't care.
I'll
Now-
say it on your stream.
Love it. Cheers, everybody.
I am filterless in these Sith Kitten streams.
I
Sometimes to my detriment.
As dirty water ensues, I become filterless too.
And if you guys really get him going with a hype train, then the other dirty water comes out, and then he drinks it like it's water.
I do, because it's such good water.
That is like the only way to drink dirty water.
Truth.
Well, it depends on the dirty water, let's be honest.
So when we get to a level 5 hype train, we give away 5 codes in celebration, and typically I stream a little bit longer than the planned in time as well, maybe a half hour to an hour, maybe long. It
He
just
ends up on
depends.
the couch.
It depends on what I can negotiate with the wife. And the third thing is I go get and pour myself a good serving of scotch. Open 14, which a viewer gave to me for my birthday back in February. I've been nursing that thing because it's so good and expensive.
Oh, he caught somebody being cute. Or
Yep,
at least they thought they were being cute.
yep. A nice torpedo there. Oh, Kitakaze.
So who is driving the Schultz?
A Triarch.
Ah.
And it's interesting to see him playing over here. This is what I like to call the fidget spinner island, and usually you're going to have a like a radar cruiser head over here. Fiva with the Missouri kill. We saw he was using radar earlier. Now here comes some interesting AP into the Massachusetts. The Schultz has extremely good, and Elbing, they both have extremely good AP characteristics. Good pen, and they do really good damage, especially if you take the enhanced AP damage perk. It's a two-point commander skill. All right. Hale's been following for 33 minutes, and he already won something. Oh, the humanity! That's awesome.
And time for winner number 2.
That is awesome. Now,
Vote
T-Bone.
again.
Nice. Now you can see that Triarch is playing at pretty long range here. The other thing about these ships is that they're not cap control contesting destroyers, at least not unless you've got a friend with you. You don't really want to go into caps that much, and unfortunately that means currently Triarch's team has 0 caps.
You know, the lack of hydro, the turning radius, speed, and the traverse, the reload, and all these things hurt you when you try and get into a cap. And I see, you know, especially through the ranked as the new destroyers came out, and watching how people were just completely and totally useless with their Z31s. And you know, I'm out there in my Z39, same class, completely different ship, and you know, I have the tools that you simply do not have. I can do things not because I'm better than you, but because my ship is quite simply better than yours.
Now you'll notice that Triarch did not defensive fire his teammate. On one hand, you might want that to kill the planes quicker. On the other hand, you have to think about the threat to the Missouri. The torpedo bombers are probably the biggest threat to the Missouri. I don't believe, in chat, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe that the Shokaku AP bombs can citadel the Missouri.
They can't.
There you go. Right, and so that's why you don't need to worry about defensive firing against those AP bombers. It's just really the torpedo bombers that are the biggest threat from a Shokaku. At least on a Missouri.
Not only that, but he's only got 3 charges, and you know.
Yep.
I mean, this is not in Atlanta we're talking about here. These are not unlimited charges that you can use at will. You have to make sure that when you use it, it's going to be worth it.
Still, I'd like to see Triarch using the priority sector at least, because that gives you free damage on those planes. Uh-oh, Hale, final call if you're here. Gotta say something. And go figure, Triarch is the only one spotting that Missouri.
Yeah.
Look at the fight going on at A. Look at all those ships that are there. Oh yeah, Smoke is still fine because he needs the cap, absolutely. Absolutely, I 100% agree with that.
And for anybody wondering why he seems to be shooting at nothing but battleships, look at the team makeups before you start judging people.
Well, not only that, but the Schultz is...
Flat, you know, it's flat broadside. He's going to get good damage on that ship, and there's a lot of battleships to shoot at. I mean, the rest of the people are not trying to make themselves known. He can't shoot at what he can't see.
Right. The Schultz is best against cruisers and battleships that are broadsiding. So I completely agree. Now here's where defensive fire and sector, there it is, good. But you're moving up a little bit too far, and you might lose the arc on that Shokaku Tor bomber. But you're moving up because that's Seattle. I see it.
Swear to God, these Muppets, where are ya?
Hey! Swear to God, these Muppets. Congratulations.
I love that name.
I do too. Yep, like SAT
I am not
said.
going to lie, I wish I had thought of that for my own username.
Like SAT said, yeah, it's that threat that forced you up, and that's fine. That makes sense. Because somehow a Seattle has survived through the middle part of the match, with almost all of his health intact, mind you.
Lo, a wandering Seattle has appeared.
I mean, that's a rare sight, indeed.
It's a rare sight to see one, period. It's an even more rare sight to see one come out and play.
Yep. Uh-oh, FIFA is in trouble. Ooh. That's okay, that just gets you more chance to, you know...
Yeah, I really don't think the new German destroyers are like optimum, but the reality is they can do some seriously good work.
You've got Lutjens on this!
Don't give those guns the credit.
You've got Lutjens on this, that's great! Lutjens is perfectly suited to the new destroyer line, especially the Elbing, also the Schultz, because as you get more and more hits, you increase your rate of fire. That makes you an even deadlier destroyer. And then on top of that, as you spot people, you get a passive heal. So if he spots 2 more people, he gets an automatic heal, which is something these destroyers do not have.
I use it on C39.
I would definitely blame FIFA for not shooting that Seattle harder. Oof, that Missouri just got, or Musashi got citadeled from the Alaska, I think. Fiva's here just in time to see him get farmed. That's right, dude. How you doing, man? Good to see you, Fiva. Hey, Aurora, hello! How are you? Hey, Kitten, shop that guy out if you wouldn't mind. Aurora is a Finnish streamer and raided my channel 2 weeks ago, I think. We got to cover one of his awesome replays, and he's been hanging out since then, so good to see you, dude.
I know I was here.
You were here.
Well, Lord Belmar, I mean, we knew that about them long before they were released. We knew they were not going to be a bunch of knife fighters that get in there and mix it up and have themselves a party. And I don't think it's fair to expect every ship and every class to be completely peachy against every ship of its own class, that sort of thing. You have to have niches for ships and you know the sub branches of the lines and to the nations, everything. I mean, things have to do certain things, otherwise there's no point in having any of them.
Hey!
Just, might as well be just, you know, one battleship, one cruiser, one destroyer, one carrier, one submarine, everybody go have a party.
Roll one as well, and he's been following for less than an hour. Congratulations, dude. That's awesome. Man,
This thing is so rigged.
if Duckman was here, he'd be so pissed.
I know, right?
Now, one thing I want to talk about real quick as well. Bread Truck, thank you for the follow.
Now following.
One thing I want to mention is that I've actually found the Schultz can work against destroyers in ranked, because I did it myself the last time when they first came out. The key is, again, it's the player that you're running up against. You can make her work. She just requires a lot of work in order to be able to do damage. You gotta have AP, you gotta have a pen at the right angle, etc., etc. And you just have to hope people can't hit you with their torps, and you're generally okay. I chased down a Yugumo that was torpedo reload boosting, and killed him in my Schultz. And part of the reason I was able to kill him is because he didn't have smoke. He couldn't do anything about it, so I just laughed all the way to, you know, his death. Yes, higher tier destroyers are quite thick, so it is easier to arm the shells, which is why AP actually against destroyers is quite nice.
Oh, that Musashi has turned right back in front of those torps.
He did. Oopsies.
The other thing about ships is you can't play them all exactly the same. I mean, we say this so often. You need to play all the ships because all the ships play differently. You know, US DDs don't play the same as French DDs. British DDs don't play the same as German DDs. They just don't.
Yep.
And expecting everything that works with one to work with the other one is a very poor expectation.
Yep, and Schultz and Elbing are nice, the other two not so much, simply because Schultz and Elbing have that improved AP pen capabilities. So now, since unfortunately Fiva has died, and that flank is lost, now you get to take advantage of broadside cruisers and battleships as those ships try to flex to the other part of the map and try to win. This is great. WoW is a really great community. Some toxicity and salt. That's true, T-Bone. And it's why you play for fun and semi-competitive. I agree. I used to do competitive. I don't really anymore. I much prefer casting it because it's more fun to talk about what other people are doing wrong.
It's much more fun to talk about what other people are doing wrong than possibly experience some of my own. Yeah.
You know, well, so the problem with competitive is it's so much work. When you guys watch us, myself, Raptor, anybody, comment on a tournament, whether that be a King of the Sea, the Verizon Warrior series that we just commented on, or anything else, the problem is that you're not seeing all of the additional work that's going into this competitive environment. Yes, Fire Torps, damn right. You're not seeing all the practices that are being held. You're not seeing all the strategy discussions. You're not seeing the pictures of the maps and saying, okay, if this happens, we go here. If this happens, we go there. What are we going to look out for here? What are we going to look out for there? What ships are best? I mean, you're talking about hours, if not days, worth of additional work just to show up to an event like King of the Sea or the Verizon Warrior series. So, to me, like that's what's so tough about competitive. And I speak from experience here, guys. I used to do Supremacy League, and just like you might think of a bowling league, you have people that show up every week on a Monday or something and play bowling for like 8 weeks straight or something. That's what Supremacy League was. We would be on for Saturdays, sometimes Sundays, and we would be doing Supremacy League against other players. But then we would do practices during the part of the week. And if you didn't show up to practice, you didn't play. You were benched, so you had to show up to practice, which makes sense, right? It's a team competitive sport. But the amount of time necessary to play at that competitive level is just so high, it causes very easy burnout.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
what happened to me.
It happened.
Obviously, it happened at the heels of a bad health issue, but it was...
Yeah. I mean, it happened to me quite easily because of the fact that I kind of knew how to play carrier. I'm not the greatest carrier in the world, and this is back in the RTS days. But I could play carrier. I had a Shokaku, and I was generally fun to hang out with. So they brought me on to play as part of the Salt Queens for APOC. And I played for, God, I don't know, 4 seasons with them. Until the Supremacy League got folded into King of the Sea. But, wow, was that a lot of work. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of time. Especially if you're playing carrier. I'm not trying to belittle any other class out there, but carrier in RTS days was by far the most difficult class to play. You're spotting for your team. You're looking for their torps. You're engaging in dogfights with, you know, the opposite carrier planes. You're trying to strike targets, you know, when you can and stuff like that. And oh, by the way, in Supremacy League, even though it was tier 8, everybody ran defensive fire if they could take it and full AA builds. So it was really, really tough.
CV back in the day, from the RTS day, was much more stressful for the CV driver than it is today, especially in competitive.
Yeah. Yep. You just joined a competitive clan. There you go. Nice. And thank you for the follow, AN21Row. Appreciate that. That is going back to the Salt Queens. That's right, Puddin'. That's right. Me, Raptor, a bunch of other people. Voss, Sterling. Harley Quinn joined towards the end. Who else was in there? Tux Penguin. I'm probably calling off names that you guys are like, oh my god, so old.
Yeah.
Who's that one guy that Craft? There was a guy that ran the Salt Queens for a while.
That poor Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And this right here is what I like about the new German TDs. The ability to just get stupid amounts of damage out of those guns.
Look at this. The guy in chat, the carrier on your team, doesn't even know who you guys are. How do you feel about that, SAT and FIFA and Triarch?
I honestly kind of had to wonder how long this person's been playing the game.
So I always love telling this story. We did a show match for Supremacy League from the top 3 teams for NA against the top 3 teams on EU, and it was a show match. Now, we were told that it was a match for us to go and have fun. So that's how we approached it. We were going to have fun, we were going to screw around, and we're just going to kind of show who we are and stuff like that. The EU teams were all told that this was a matter of honor and pride, and they must win at all counts. Slightly different goal set there, if you ask me, different mindset. And I am proud to say that when we did that event, the Salt Queens, with me, we were the only team to actually win one battle against the Europeans. One battle. Every other game was a shit show. And because, frankly, none of us prepared. We just, hey, we're going to go do this. We're going to have fun. Go back to the EU side. They practiced like crazy so they could beat us down. And the reason we won was because I brought a Lexington. I brought an anti-air spec Lexington. And everybody, when I brought that, you should have seen chat. It was hilarious. Chat was like, oh my god, what the hell are they doing? These guys are idiots and blah, blah, blah. Why don't you just not bring a carrier? Yada, yada, yada. and we won that damn battle. Do you know why we won that battle? 2 reasons. One, the American planes were tankier, could handle the anti-air better, and me being not so great in carrier, I needed that little extra margin to be able to spot things and stuff without like losing all my planes in the Shokaku. And 2, because halfway through the battle, I moved my carrier up and I bow tanked. Nice win, by the way. And I bow tanked with my face. I took some damage, but you know what? Those were shells that my team didn't take. And they revealed themselves trying to shoot me because, you know, it's a carrier, must kill. And as a result, we won the damn game. And chat had to eat their words. It felt so damn good. So damn good.
So what Zath is trying to say is he rigged
Is what?
it. So what you're trying to say is you rigged it.
I did not rig it. I brought a carrier that nobody
I'm
thought was
kidding.
competitive.
You rigged it by what you did. I mean,
Right.
the makeup of a ship and a captain and things like that are just as much a part of your gameplay as going out there and pointing and clicking. And I honestly think that too many players don't understand that.
Yep.